My name is Rory Houlihan. I ran for U.S. Senate last spring 2016 to stop the ticking time bomb so I could put our economy on track for a bright new day instead of all things ending. Now running for KYH 73 in 2018. But I still need to tell. So let me educate you on the ticking time bombs and give you the rest of the story. Part 13B United we stand, we are strong. The consequences of the Trump deportation con being only against the rapists, the killers, and the murderers is a flexion con. Ultra conservatives have greater designs. One of the biggest pots of money is our Social Security insurance. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. 200,000 here, 400,000 there, and 800,000 over there. All adds up to defund our Social Security system, which is payments into equals payments out. Understand Wall Street has wanted to get its hands on that retirement fund money of last resort for years. They tried to get at that big pot of SSI money in 2004 under the Bush administration, but failed for obvious reasons. Paying one third into also a federal 401k fund would defund the SSI system or force an increase equals raise taxes, SSI payments, or a reduction of SSI payments. SSI is more or less set up so payments into is payments out of. The diversion of money from SSI monies into a volatile market with its ups and downs have a destabilizing effect on our retirement system of last resort. We all have to look at what has happened to many state retirement programs, including Kentucky's. Democrats had to shore up these losses in 2008, 2013, and 2014. If we just followed the Democratic plan, our Kentucky State Retirement Fund would be completely funded in 30 years compared to Matt Bevin's plan, which would take at least 40 years or more. If we are allowed to increase taxes by $440 million a year, which would be done by removing 1 to 5% of the special interest deductions, that should bring this date down to like 20 to 10 years, a much shorter time. This is based on what Rocky Atkins has reported to me as I remember. Should we put our retirement system of last resort in danger so that Wall Streeters can get wealthier off of our government through their privatization plans? But their logic does provide an opportunity to apply USDF principles. USDF stands for User Sustained Diversified Financing. The TVA is an USDF program. Maybe why Tennessee's economy is better than Kentucky's, and not because of right to work laws. Donna Mayfield. USDF applies business principles to fund government programs instead of creating more taxes. Quite honestly, our SSI program is, as far as I know, SSI is still a major buyer of U.S. federal debt, and those payments do help support not only our government, but also help create an additional income stream to help fund our SSI system. Privatization takes government money from programs and gives that money to the wealthy. USDF uses business principles to fund government programs instead of more taxes. Again, the smallest government is the one that operates effectively and efficiently. If one wants to expand the role of SSI in USDF program, here are two that might be considered. Using some of the SSI funds to help fund our student loan program, based on research done by Senator Warren's office in 2013. The following statements are based on Elizabeth Warren's book, This Is Our Fight. The student loan portfolio was to be bringing in nearly $174 billion in 2014. All the while, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, and other too big to fail banks received loans with an interest rate of less than 1%. Students at the same time were being charged 6 to 8% on their loans. So the folks who created the 2008 2010 mess, the some might would say problems, were given preferred interest rates, while those who will be our future solutions were paying more and more. Thanks to the work of Senator Warren, Henry Reid, and other senators, including two independents like Bernie Sanders and three moderate Republicans like Gene Snow, tried to get student loans down to at least the break even point of 3.9%. But conservative Republicans like Senior Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell filibustered the lower student loan interest bill of 3.9% to protect the very wealthy, even though Warren Buffett was for the necessary tax change. Remember Mark 3:31, a thief must first bind the strong man to steal from the rest. Let's be honest, student loans have become a backdoor tax. That is a tax slide on to future hardworking folks, designed to enslave, bind the strongest and most industrious of our next generation, so the Grover Norquist funders can pay less and less taxes, the ultra rich. Grover Norquist has dedicated his life to defunding our government. It's isn't to defund is to destroy, but conservatives are such patriots because they say so. If SSI invested in the student loan program, the return would eventually lower the SSI payments or lower the interest rate that the student loan program charges, reducing the double taxation of college kids. Originally, the student loan program was a subsidy of lower than market interest loans to allow children of working class families to get a higher education. Now, thanks to conservatives, the student loan program is now just another backdoor tax and a way to enslave future hardworking folks. The other way to is to maybe USDF, the SSI program, is to use SSI funds to fund local and state government infrastructure programs, the roads, bridges, and water treatment facilities that is needed so badly today. That would create even more money for SSI. The president wants to privatize, sell off public roads and highways so that you will have to pay more and more for more time. Ah, also, you are giving a private concern a monopoly with monopoly power the ability to price gouge our major trade and commerce system, putting a huge drag on our economy. Again, privatization takes money out of your pocket, not less, while USDF keeps the money in your pocket. Many folks warn that even USDF could become a slippery slope for the SSI program, leaving the door open for those who want to privatize and take that big pot of government money for themselves. Let's sum up Trump's, Stephen Miller's anti DACA and other anti immigrant activities effects. That no quick path to citizenship equals no laws, no rights, no regulations, no protections, no government agency, no cop to protect. Open up immigrant groups to being terrorized into silence so that they can be enslaved and be taken advantage of indefinitely. Why? We have today the long periods of time to become an U.S. citizen and an unclear path. Trump administration Stephen Miller uses scare to terror rhetoric to cover up the fact that ICE is targeting moms and dads of mixed families of immigrant citizens to break up and terrorize those families to force self deportation of mixed families. That the Trump terrorist activities is creating a two-tier labor market, which The slave labor market, basically immigrants and folks of color, undermined the free labor market, citizens, and I'll be honest, white folks, as they did when I was a child, driving both labor markets' wages down. Remember, S is equal to D. Job creators equal job sustainers. Without demand, there can be no supply. That demand is a check and balance to supply. That creating and maintaining a two-tier labor market undermines the future of U.S. economic growth. That deporting immigrants does not solve crime or criminal activities, but instead expands criminal activity by silencing immigrant communities. Only jailing the bad guys solves this. The only true solution of a two-tier labor market is to unite both labor markets into one, as MLK proposed during the 1960s and why he was assassinated. United, we are stronger. So the immigrant solution is not deportation, but unification and a quick road to citizenship. That the deportation of DACA recipients, young folk, and other immigrant groups will help with the defunding of our SSI program and will be used as an excuse in the future to privatize the SSI program and lead to its demise. Without a retirement program of last resort, our retirees will be forced out of their homes and onto the streets, as it was before the SSI program. USDF could be used to fund some of the SSI system to lower SSI payments in the future. USDF could also be used to defund or privatize corrupt the SSI system. The slippery slope warning. If we don't balance the investment side with the payment out side. Please do our country and our retirees a favor and support a united We Stand DACA policy. If you like what you hear, would you do me a favor and subscribe to my Rory for Us YouTube.com channel? You have a good and blessed day, folks. Bye.